The conservative approach to education policy is nothing if not confused. As House Republicans introduced the Student Success Act, seeking to reauthorize No Child Left Behind, it's critical the conservatives be clear about what they're for and not just what they're against. The U.S. Constitution empowers Congress to set weights and measures. Congress ought to do this when it comes to schooling too. We're mailing money out to states and localities to educate kids. We ought to know whether they're learning and how those dollars are being spent. But we ought to draw a bright line and not let the federal government tell states how they ought to run or fix their schools. U.S. Constitution empowers Congress to write patent law for a reason. We've seen federal investments in research pay huge dividends when it comes to health care. We ought to be making the right kinds of smart investments in basic research that can help drive educational improvement and support efforts across the nation. But the federal government ought not be telling people what to do with the research or how they ought to be running schools. Conservatives should be for more than just rolling back federal involvement, because that will just put back in place the old status quo with the heavy hand of unions at the forefront. Conservatives should be for trust busting. They should be for scraping away the old rules and regulations that get in the way of reform-minded governors and hard-charging superintendents. It's vital the conservatives sketch a positive, constructive, limited vision of what the federal role ought to be when it comes to improving K-12 schools.